What's up, friends? It's Firecore. Welcome back to my breakdown of Anel's 4-hour and 15-minute Xenoblade Chronicles 2 speedrun. Last video, we ended off at the end of Chapter 2. Anel just finished off Morag, and we're going to continue into Chapter 3. Now, Chapter 3 is an insanely long chapter, but I don't think I'm going to do it all this video. So I'll probably stop in like 20 minutes. But let's get started. So after finishing off Morag, we have to do some of the little cutscenes. It's a pretty emotional cutscene. Nia decides she wants to join our team, and Tora, well, he already decided that he wanted to wander around with us. So pretty soon, we are finally going to figure out if we got lucky enough with our puzzle tree wood, which sometimes I am insanely unlucky. So you go to the right, and you grab a collection spot, which you have to do later, and lucky enough, this collection spot also has the possibility to drop puzzle tree wood. Now, if you don't get all the puzzle tree wood, this is where you just reset over and over again. Now, inside of this speedrun, Anel gets lucky and gets the required amount of puzzle tree wood, so then he can go to the next area and complete it. I kind of struggled with that quest quite a bit when I was playing through the game. I had to look up a little bit of a guide since I didn't really know where Umon's shipyard was. But we grabbed the collection spot and also the teleportation spot. So now there's a big long walk to Umon's shipyard. So Anel, at this point inside the speedrun, basically just has to explain the story up to this point since not much happens. He kind of just walks for like 4 minutes or something. So I'm going to basically explain it as best as I can. So if you guys have played the game, you already know what's happening. But for all the new people, this landmass, this giant biosphere, is called a Titan. Now, this is Gormott. It's the really green one of my personal favorites, and it's flourishing. There are some Titans out there that are dying. Now, the reason that those Patrick head-looking dudes, known as the Ardanian soldiers, were wandering around is because they took Gormott, this Titan, as their spot. They kind of just T-posed on it, and they decided that they wanted it for the resources. Since their Titan, Mor Ardain, is kind of like a desert. It's a wasteland, absolutely dead. So they're going around and trying to collect as many things as they can. And since Nia is technically an enemy of all Titans, since Torna kind of beats up a lot of people, they decided to kidnap her and throw her into jail. But we broke her out of jail, and we equipped Crossette on her, so I think Nia can hold her own inside of a fight with most bosses now. But here's Umon's shipyard, which is a necessary place to go to because Tora has an idea. So we need to go to the World Tree, and Nia decided to join us. But before that, we need a ship, since we can't really swim. I'm pretty sure inside the story, Nia can't swim, which is interesting, even though it's not really water. It's weird, cloudy fuzz. So we're going over here to get a ship. But unfortunately, Umon, he's perfectly fine lending us the ship, but he doesn't have the materials for it. So we get the quest, Umon's ship, and we have to collect the Diamond Oak, which is back at that old collection space that we got. I don't really remember what it's called. Yeah, Dawnview Grotto. You go there, collect more of the veggies, so you can get agronomy for Crossette to level 2 or level 3. Level 2. And then you collect the Diamond Oak, and since you already collected all the puzzle tree wood, you can go back to Umon, and you can do this a lot faster. Because usually usually it takes me a while to do this, and I have to go around and collect all the puzzle tree wood after. But since this speedrun wants to do it quickly, we collect it on the way. So that was really quick, and we can go back to Umon. But unfortunately, another mishap happened, and the Titan, which was going to have the ship on it, decided that he wanted to run away. So we have to go find it, which it's at the beginning area of Gormott. But before that, we have to sleep inside of an inn, since the tide is high? No, the tide's low. Now, tide is a pretty interesting thing inside of this inside this game. It doesn't really affect the speedrun that much, and it doesn't really affect many titans. I'm pretty sure it's just like Gormott and another one that I don't remember. But we level up, and since we are inside of this inn, we go to bed, and when we wake up, the tide is going to be raised, and then we can swim over to the Titan and finish off this quest, even though I think this is not a part of the quest. We finished off Uman's ship with the items, but now we have to get the ship, since it ran away. So usually what you're supposed to do is teleport all the way back and walk down the path that you came up, but there's a little skip that you can do. It's not really that difficult, and I think anyone can do it, even if you don't want to speedrun the game, it's still quicker. So you go to the upper right, and you just jump down over this. It has safety guards trying to protect people from doing this, but, you know, Nia's a savage, and she decides she just wants to make a big old leap for it. So you can swim past all this and go find the Titan. Now, this Titan is, well, to be honest, he's kind of old. He doesn't really do much, and unfortunately, pretty soon he's going to kind of get wrecked. I don't really know what happens to him. Well, I'll wait until the story progresses, and then I'll say my statements on this Titan. Okay, so we teleport back to Uman's shipyard, and finally, we can go to our destination, which is the World Tree. Since, our waifu, she wants to head there. She wants to talk to her papa. And doing that, Rex is proving that he's a good guy by wasting a long time going over there because he's a nice guy. Alright, now we can go on the ship and depart for the World Tree. Now, you don't see it inside this cutscene, but when this cutscene's happening, inside of our little quest to go to the World Tree, unfortunately, a big old beast known as Orifice Ophion, doesn't matter, stops us and unfortunately knocks us over, and we get swallowed by this big Titan known as Uriah. Now, back on the whole other Titan thing, I always kind of wondered where the Titan that we got eaten with, like, he kind of just disappeared. He probably died, or maybe he just decomposed, turned into a core crystal or something. I'm not sure. He might be inside the starting area of Uriah when you get eaten by it, but I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to that. So now we kind of just walk through Uriah because we're inside of the mouth area right now, and we have to go inside the guts because the guts has all the civilization. But before that, we get confronted by this big burly dude, Mr. BFG himself, Vandam. And he's an epic dude. He wants the Aegis, like most people. And he's really strong. He has his compadres with him, and this battle's pretty easy. You just target the Great Axe user since he has a taunt move, which makes it so you have to attack him. So he's Yu, or Yo. What's his name? Yao. I'm just going to call him that. So you basically just do cross-set strat on him and hit him with a level 1, I think, and then you hit him with a level 1, and then when you switch over to Vandam, you use Stone, and then you use a Burnout level 4 on Vandam. Yeah, so you have to finish off Zoe, since if you just go straight for Vandam, he has the taunt move, and it's really annoying. So taking him out first is easy peasy since cross-set's broken. Alright, so then you use Stone on Vandam. Now, I don't think Enel does it instead of this one, but that's what I like to do. Oh, nope. Looks like he uses Stone, I think. Or maybe he just uses fire. Now, you this time actually gets targeted. Normally, when I do the speedrun, I like to target you after we finish Vandam, but I think Enel just wanted to AoE them together, which makes sense. So it turns out Vandam didn't actually want to murder us. He just kind of wanted to put us through the ringer and show us the ropes and all that kind of stuff. So he decides to take us back to his village, and he is actually a mercenary. He does jobs for money, and he's a real nice guy. So heading over to his home little town or something, he wants us to have some tea and coffee and listen to our tales of our story and our journey so far. We go a little bit to the left to grab the mercenary HQ skip travel spot, since it's quicker to grab it. And then Van Damme decides that he wants to wait for us over at that gate, and he has a mission for us. So he's gonna help us out, but we gotta help him out first, since that's the mercenary rule. Help someone out, and they'll help you out. Now, Van Damme has a blade known as Rock. I'm not a big fan of Rock. He's kind of just a chicken. Well, literally, he's kind of a chicken. Weird chicken hawk. So Van Damme, the mission is pretty much just go over and kill this creature. So we're going to go over and kill this giant spider, and we have a couple menus that we have to do along the way, but pretty much this area is just, well, I'll get into why we do this area. So up ahead we have a thing that Rock is pretty much made for. Now this is called an ether masma, I think. It's basically just a cramp or a big gut bubble inside of the Titan, since these Titans are alive. They are not dead. They are living creatures, even though they have rocks floating in them and stuff. But Rock, since he has the power of gale wings or something, he was able to blow it away. It's not used too much inside of the game. I think it's only like 2 times, which is kind of stupid because, I think Rock had a lot of missed potential. So Nell gets stopped by the creature, which happens a lot to me. I'm just wandering around, minding my own business, and the AI of the creatures just runs straight at me. I'm pretty sure they're programmed to do that, just to be annoying. So on the topic of a driver combo, there's break and then there's topple. And up ahead, Rex is going to be able to unlock a topple, which is really going to help, since Nia can break, and then we have 2 characters which can use topple. Now this is a really easy battle. You basically just use cross-set strat, level 1, and then you use level 2 burnout. I'm pretty sure you also try to get a topple, but even if you don't get a topple, this dude's gonna be able to pretty much die pretty consistently. Now, unfortunately, Van Damme shoves himself on the party, and as you can see, he's pretty high level, but we're still stronger than him due to cross-set being a savage. So we collect HP potions, and what's good about doing a driver combo, toppling an enemy pretty much guarantees, I think, at least 2 potions to drop, maybe just 1. But then we build to level 2, and hopefully we get a break or a topple and kill it with the level 2 burnout. And Van Damme did get a launch here, so you get more damage. No, you get more damage, EXP, and skill points if you get a high level fusion combo. At least I'm pretty sure. So up here we have a little menu, not too gigantic, but it's always good to remember the menu spots. Now, if you remember, there are the affinity charts for the blades, then there are the driver affinity charts, or the affinity chart for the drivers. Now, these are pretty important. Anel, inside the speedrun, doesn't do this too many times, since he's pretty much just trying to grind for a specific skill, which I will get into later, but the skill is a canceling skill, which makes it a lot faster. So I'm pretty sure we get dexterity on Nia, since we don't want her to miss, and then I think we get strength on Rex or something. Maybe. Then we check Crosset's chart and Poppy's chart. And of course, put Tora back inside the party, since Van Damme's not that strong. When we check Crosset's strat, we also chart. We are able to unlock another one of her skill nodes or notches, and this particular one gives her more damage when she collects an HP potion. So before it was 70% more damage every single time she collects an HP potion, and now it is 80. Or maybe it's 70. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We get like 10% more, which is good. So this is the Elder Arachno. It has a blade, which is kind of funny that this demonic creature somehow opened up a core crystal. Doesn't really matter. It's not a really difficult fight. You kind of just get to mega explosion, and hopefully you get a break. And since Crossset's really strong, it takes it out 90% of the time. If you just collect your HP potions correctly, you have like no trouble with this. Now there's Wolfric right there, who you actually are able to collect if you get your hands on his core crystal, which you automatically get after killing this big old spider. So it has that blowdown move, and sometimes it unfortunately kills you right there, but he was able to get a healing circle off. So he tried to get a break right there, and unfortunately didn't get it, so he just charged up to a level 4, which would kill it. But if you did get the break, you might get the topple, which kills, just with the mega explosion. At least it kills for me. Now we get Wolfric's core crystal, core chip, core crystal, and we finish off the mission. So we teleport back to Van Damme's hometown, and we have another battle. Now, this is another member of Torna that we're going against, known as Akos. He has a very annoying blade, being Ibrona, but we're going to fight him later inside the story. He's pretty easy now, but when he teams up with another dude, he's really difficult. So this is Akos. He's a cool dude, very epic, and we learn about chain attacks, which is a very broken thing post-game. You can use it to take out a lot of super bosses very easily. Now inside of this one, you pretty much just want to collect as many HP potions as possible and then get a break. And then you can just use your chain attack and it kills him very consistently. So as you can see, Anel, he's not really trying to break him that much. He's just trying to get as many HP potions as possible. And then he breaks him. And then he uses his burnout. And then he uses his epic chain attack, which inside of this particular fight, there's already a bubble. So these bubbles pretty much mean whenever you use a level 3 blade combo finisher, like Mega Explosion, Nuclear Blast, it puts one of these little things when you use a chain attack and exploding them, and they do have elemental weaknesses. So this is a water one. So since fire is opposite than water, it does 2 notches, because usually you have to do 3 notches on it. Now, if you bust one of these, you get to do your chain attack a second time. And doing chain attacks give you an insane amount of XP. So it is really easy to get pretty far, like insanely far inside the level department by just getting like a really good chain attack. Alright, so we finished off Akos, and luckily, Van Damme doesn't shove himself on the party this time, even though I don't think it would do that much. I think on the official speedrun, like the world record, they actually do use Van Damme, but I'm not sure. So now we're continuing, and Van Damme is now going to scratch our back and help us out on our quest to go to the World Tree. So Van Damme knows some dude inside the capital who can help us get to the World Tree. And we're going to go there. But before that, we have a very long trek. An insanely long trek. One of the longest inside the entire games, in my opinion. The one to Tantal later inside the game, I think that's like chapter 5 or chapter 6. That's really long. You have to do a lot inside that chapter. Just walking. But this one, it has a couple interesting and notable battles. Now, the next battle to come up is definitely one of my favorite characters. This is his debut. Now, he's popping up pretty soon, and I will talk about him when he pops up. Okay, and here he is. Now, this is the man himself, the Zekinator, Zeke von Gembu, with his blade Pandoria. Now, earlier inside the story, he's kind of the comedic relief, but he does actually have some pretty interesting story and a really cool relationship with his father. Unfortunately, I don't like his father that much. It's kind of just a dick, but I can understand why they did that. So inside of this one, you just charge up to level 4 and you kill him. When I was first speedrunning the game, I thought you use level 1 with cross set and then you use a level 4, but nah, you just build up to level 4. Rex uses a heat, and then you just use level 4 burnout, and if you do get a break, it is helpful. But luckily, he already had a break earlier inside the battle, so this is pretty much guaranteed to kill since this fight's not supposed to be too difficult. Alright, so Enel just took out the dude himself, Zeke von Gembo. Now, Zeke's such a savage that he used his strongest attack, which is Ultimate Lightning Fury / Max. And this insanely powerful attack was so strong that it destroyed the ground beneath him, which made him plummet to the water below. Luckily, we'll see him in like chapter 4 and then like chapter 5. We see him a lot. And then he decides he wants to join our party, which I'm very happy about since he is he's probably the driver I use the most. Now, I might go to the clip. There's a clip coming up which it's not a very difficult clip, but to be honest, it's the first clip that I've ever done inside of a video game, so have to say, I felt pretty proud learning this, even though it's freakishly easy and a monkey could probably do it. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna go to that, and then I think we'll stop this video. But when Anel's walking over there, I just have to say this speedrun it's a beautiful like just show of gameplay. Later inside the speedrun, he messes up a few clips, but nothing insane. The clips, sometimes they can be a little bit luck dependent, since a few of them are really difficult. I have learned a certain clip which is one of the hardest inside the game. I'm pretty sure that's chapter 4. Yeah, it's when you have to go inside the old factory and do the clip to get into the Lila fight early. But I'll talk about that when it happens. And around that area, I've actually stopped speedrunning. So maybe after watching that, I will get back into speedrunning. But I've been playing a lot of Dragon Quest, so who knows. But here's the clip right now. Usually, you have to go all the way around and drain all this water, but you can just shove Dromark's big fat head inside that metal beam, and then switch to Rex, and then switch Rex back into Nia, and then you clip through. Now, it's really easy, but I thought it was pretty cool. But that's the speedrun. Well, at least this video for the speedrun. Now, I will definitely leave the links inside the description, and the channel link inside the description. Definitely check him out. He's a pro, and I really enjoy watching his content. But keep on lookout for my newest videos. I make a video every single day if I can, and thank you guys for watching, and keep on lookout for my videos.